Hi, I'm Gene McLaughlin. I'd like to welcome you to Council Candidates 2021. On this program, you're going to meet the candidates from the various wards who will discuss their positions on the key issues facing the township. Today, our guests are from Ward 5. First of all, I'd like to introduce the challenger, a Democrat, Lance Hilfman. Lance, welcome.
Thank you, Gene. It's good to be here.
And the incumbent, Tony Paskitti, a Republican on the council representing Ward 5.
Thank you,
Gentlemen,
Gene.
thank you for coming out. Appreciate it. If we can get right into it, Lance, you're a newcomer. People may not be aware of you. Maybe you'd like to hit a few high spots of your background, a little bit personal, professional, so on.
Okay. I've been in Old Bridge for 32 years. I've been in the area since we moved out from New York 53 years ago. I'm a teacher. I'm married. My wife is a retired teacher. She taught in Old Bridge for 40 years. And my kids grew up in Old Bridge and went through the Old Bridge school system. I'm here because I'm a communicator. And I think we need communication, better communication. So that's why I'm here.
Okay, thank you. Someone like you, Tony, you're a veteran of the council. People may know you, but would you like to add a few touches to your background?
Sure. For those that don't know, my name is Tony Paskitti. I've been on the council for the first term, past 4 years.
Right.
Live in Southwood and married to my wife for 33 years. And have 4 grown children. 3 just got married.
Okay.
2 got married, another one in November.
Yeah.
So it's a busy home.
Other than what you're doing on the council, what do you do when you're not on the council?
Right now, I'm an inspector. I do inspections for banks and mortgage companies. I used to be a director of IT. That was my last job, and that's where I was able to go to Afghanistan and Kuwait.
Wow.
And Dubai. Yeah, working on top secret projects for a military contractor. It was very exciting.
That'd be interesting.
It was. You know, when you go outside the country,
Yeah.
you find out how blessed we are in this country.
Oh,
The
absolutely.
simplest things like roads and traffic signals. You don't have those
Absolutely.
over there.
No, I know. Believe me. No, that you're right. We don't know how blessed we are here. Lance, if I can go back to you, why are you running? You sort of alluded to it just a moment ago. You figured you're a communicator. Why this time? Why the council?
I've been on the Housing Authority for 17 years. I chaired it for 4 years.
Did you really?
I've been part of Old Bridge Education Foundation. I was on Cultural and Heritage Commission for years. And now's the time because I have the time.
Okay.
Okay. And while I teach in Patterson, I do have the time to help Old Bridge progress. And I figured now's the time to do that. As I said, it's communications. It's listening. It's bringing things to light that need to be brought to light. And it's all about family and community and township. And I believe that I have that kind of experience, having been a teacher, having been in sales and sales management, and having been part of Old Bridge for at least the last 22 years, as far as being on the Housing Authority and being Education Foundation and Cultural and Heritage Commission. So I've seen the township from a lot of different ways.
I was going to say you have.
And
Okay.
growing up in Marlboro and having friends in Old Bridge, Old Bridge is a great town.
Yeah.
And it should be great again, and I can help that happen.
Okay, good. Are there any issues that particularly bug you that you'd like to tackle if you do get on the council?
I believe we need to work with the overdevelopment that's in town.
Okay.
It's taxing our public safety, it's taxing our schools, it's taxing our services. There are roads that need to be widened if we can widen them, because the amount of people in Old Bridge who not just commute to New York, but commute in Old Bridge. And I think the overdevelopment has gotten a little bit out of hand. That plus, we know that we need to build from within as far as small and local businesses. We need to embellish them. And the diversity in the town needs to be embellished as well. There are so many different cultures here that need to be represented.
Okay, thank you, Lance. You anticipated a few of my questions downrange here. Tony, how about you? You've been on the council, as you said, 4 years now. What have you taken away from that 4 years experience? What have you learned?
Well, I learned that the town has a $56 million budget and only takes in $35 million
I
in
heard.
property tax. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's a challenge each year. We go over the budget line by line, making sure that every penny is accounted for, and we're looking out for the resident, for the taxpayer, because it's important. People are spending a lot of money in taxes. The school takes a big chunk.
Oh, sure.
Can't do anything about that.
No.
But our municipal tax has been flat for 3 years. So and the first year I was on the council, it went up less than 1%.
Right.
So it's been nice and stabilized, and that's what's important. To increase the services and or stabilize the taxes. I think that's the most important thing.
What has been your best or greatest satisfaction on doing this type of thing?
The best part of being on a council is when people call you and they have a problem, they have an issue, they're trying to navigate through the government, and I'm able to advocate for them. I can go to the town, talk to the business administrator or department head, and get their issue resolved. And that's the best part. Is a satisfaction that you can't beat.
Yeah, I bet.
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
I can really understand that. Let's go to if we can. I think you both outlined pretty much some of the issues in the township. How about going to the ward? What do you see around Ward 5, Lance, as you walk around Ward 5, talk to the people? What's the biggest issue there?
The biggest issue is communication. But in looking at the difference between Sayrwood South, which is where I live, Indian Village, and Southwood, it's all part of the same town.
Right.
And I believe it needs to be treated the same way. There are issues that are more prevalent in one part of town than they are in another part of town.
Right.
But the emphasis has to be on township and getting it all together, and knowing full well that living in the town and being part of the town and being on a corner, I live right on a corner, and seeing it from the corner view,
Right.
I see a lot of different things that could be better and can be better, and we can do better. But it's the idea that it's all part of one town. And I think sometimes that's forgotten. Enjoying the community the way I do, and knowing the people in Southwood, on my side of town, in between, in Foxborough, it's just a matter of making sure that everybody realizes we're part of one town, and the services have to be equal throughout the town. So
Okay.
that's why I'm here.
Tony, what do you think about that? What Lance is saying? What's your perspective from Ward 5 view when you
Well,
walk around?
It's true that I live right on the border of 5 and 6. The folks across the street from me are Ward 6.
Ward 6, okay.
But the people are wonderful, and I disagree with Lance on the being fair to each part of the ward, because the ward runs all the way down the John Hall Road. That's down by the airport and
Right.
Raceway Park, and you're running all the way up.
Ward 5's a big ward.
It's a big ward,
I lived
and
in Ward 5.
so I think the issues are the issues that the residents have are basically all the same. You got people speeding through their streets.
Yeah.
You got the opioid issue, which is countrywide, not just townwide, and I don't differentiate between one part of the town and the
You
other.
don't.
No, I don't. And when I'm on the council and I'm making decisions for all the residents, the whole town, not just Ward 5.
Okay.
Even though I'm specifically from Ward 5,
Right.
but my decision making has to be based on all the residents, not just Ward 5 residents.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Lance, you used the word communication a couple times. What do you mean? What's communication to you?
Listening more than speaking.
Listening more than speaking.
I mean, I tell my students all the time, God gave us 2 ears and one mouth.
One mouth, and that's.
We should listen twice as much as we
I
talk.
used to teach a seminar on active listening, and I used to use it as a opener.
There are questions that people from all over town have.
Yeah.
And there are questions. We have people who grew up in town. We have generations in town.
Yeah.
My wife has taught people who have grandparents in town who she didn't teach the grandparents,
Yeah.
but she taught their parents. and we still keep in contact with them.
Mhm.
And it's all about equity and being equitable to hearing everybody. And I'm good about, if I don't have an answer to a question, I will find the way to get that answer and get back to the people as quickly as possible. And I agree with Tony. We're one town.
Right.
Okay.
Right,
And what goes on off Englishtown Road and goes off on Route 35 and everywhere in between, it's all Old Bridge.
Mhm.
And there are so many different developments and so many different communities,
Right.
but we're one town.
Right.
And I have the ability and the experience of listening more than talking.
Mhm.
So that's what I bring.
Okay. What about this business of solutions to some of these problems? Are they out there, the solutions? I mean, you've all talked about the issues, the key issues. What about the solutions? Are they hanging out there somewhere?
There are definitely solutions. Some are more complex and some
Yeah, I
take a
was gonna
lot
ask you, that's what I
longer
was
to
getting- yes,
solve.
Yes, sir.
But most of the issues are solvable. I mean, the opioid issue, I mean, I'm sure there's a solution, but it's above my pay grade.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it seems to affect every family member. You know, it's just prevalent. It's terrible.
It is
No.
amazing why the opioid is taking over here. I don't know what do you do? I mean, it's taking over, as you said, taking over the country. I mean, the young people.
The town is doing wonderful things. I mean, we
Yeah.
have like the
Right.
Municipal Alliance and other programs,
Yeah.
and it is helping because you bring the community together, the community leaders.
Okay.
You know, so
Let me ask you another question, a tougher question. How do you differ from your opponent?
How do
would
I
you say
differ?
you differ from Tony, or Tony differ from Lance? I always look at it this way: you folks are really products in a way. You're selling yourself. You're selling yourself. So
First of all, he has hair.
I'm losing. You're not looking at the back there.
how do you say you differ from your opponent? And this is going to come up later when we finish the taping.
I feel that, again, it's coming down to communication, but I agree with Tony. You know, it's all about, for the opioid problem, it's about education and putting everything together and making sure step by step, and maybe we need to start younger in school about that. How I differ is I believe in building a town carefully and slowly.
Mm-hmm.
With the amount of construction going on,
Yeah.
and Old Bridge is big enough to have the construction. I know there was a time years ago when there were wetlands that were taken care of. But I believe that with the amount of construction and building and the apartments and the houses that are growing, that we have to realize how we fix that. How do we compensate for that? For safety, we'll have to build more schools at this point.
Yeah,
The
we have
schools
this
are taxed.
explosive, if I may interrupt, you have this explosive growth in the township, wouldn't you think so, Tony, as part of the issue that Lances are raising?
Well,
You have explosive growth, it seems to me. The population has exploded in the last census period.
yeah, but the enrollment in the public schools has gone down.
I know. I
You know,
saw that.
so folks aren't having as many children. But yes, the building of homes does impact the infrastructure. It impacts the schools, the fire, the police, the administration. Everything gets impacted. What you see building now on Route 9, Bernetti's property.
Yeah.
That was approved 30 years ago.
I know.
I mean,
Bernetti
he
been lurking around for years.
Yeah, he owns that property. He's the property owner. He bought a lot of property in Old Bridge, right? He's a private property owner. How the town regulates the overdevelopment is by zoning, right? So
Right.
what the zoning board intends to do is they enact our master plan. The master plan tells you how the town is zoned,
Right.
right? It has residential, has commercial.
Yes.
Now, one of the biggest impacts that just happened was, and it's still kind of in its preliminary, is Bernetti's property, the golf course.
Mm-hmm.
And that was zoned for single-family homes, and that would have been 10,000 homes.
Right.
Now that,
I remember that.
that
The
would
whole
be
golf
crazy.
course saga.
Right.
Yes.
So now what's happened is they have plans for warehouses to go up, which is industrial. Now, industrial is a very good rateable for Old Bridge or for any town, because it doesn't impact your infrastructure as
Right.
much. Maybe a little bit on the fire, but not
Yes,
too
sir.
much on schools. So
Right.
absolutely nothing on schools, right? So you have taxes coming in, and the infrastructure is not impacted as much. That's the overdevelopment. There's only so much you can do. You do it by the master plan and the zoning, and the issue with private property owners is if a guy like Bernetti has a property and it's zoned for residential, what are you going to do? You're going to rezone his property? He's going to sue you, right? So we'll be in court, right? Because hey, if you own a piece of property and you want to build on it, you should have every right to build. So it really has to be taken a look at from a higher level.
Okay,
view.
thank you, Tony. I'd ask you gentlemen to hold your thoughts for a moment. Folks, we're getting ready to take a break here. This is council candidates 2021. We have Ward 5 candidates here, our incumbent Tony Paskitti, and our challenger Lance Hilfman. We'll be back in just a moment. Please stay with us.
Voting? Here are your options. You can now vote early in person October 23rd through October 31st, or send in a vote by mail ballot postmarked by November 2nd, or vote on Election Day at your assigned voting location. Middlesex County, NJ.gov/vote.
The black truck? Hey, Christina from accounting.
Yeah, hi.
Hey, I used to date a girl named Christina.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then she dumped me for my best friend. You want to see some photos of them that I took?
I don't.
I thought we talked about this, buddy.
Buzzed and overshared again?
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm gonna call a car.
that's a smart idea.
So yeah, I know, that's why I did it.
Hey, you're gonna get back to the top of the mountain.
Does that mean I'm gonna get back with Christina?
No.
Oh.
No.
Did you know dragging chains can spark a wildfire?
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Okay, folks, welcome back to Ward 5 Council candidates this time. Our guests are Tony Paskitti, who is the incumbent, a Republican, and our challenger over here is Lance Hilfman, a Democrat. And Tony, if I may, before we went to the break, I never did ask you a key question. How do you differ from Lance?
Well, Lance is in the Democrat Party, and the Democrats basically are tax and spend. So if you look at my record and look at the record of this council,
Right.
We've stabilized the taxes. And like
Okay.
I said previously, we don't take in enough taxes to cover.
Right. No, we never really have. Yeah.
Right. So it's very important to stay ahead of the curve and make sure that we're looking ahead and keeping, the costs down.
Okay.
And look for ways to have shared services, like the police and the road department now have a combined auto shop, where now they have half the equipment and half the labor to do twice the amount of cars. So you're saving a tremendous amount of money that way.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Let me ask you another question, if I may, and this could be a little bit of a controversial question, and that is a lot of criticism that everything on the council in recent years has become very politicized. And no offense, Tony, has become very politicized, and that there's no collegiality on the council anymore. Aren't there some issues that the council faces that should be bipartisan? Let me let you go first, and then we'll talk to the councilman.
I think every issue on the council should be bipartisan, and I think
Yeah, but which ones should be
well,
more
I think that
bipartisan?
Tony's saying that Democrats are tax and spend.
Yeah.
At this level, it's more about what's going on in the community than a label, a Democrat, an unaffiliated, or a Republican.
Mm-hmm.
With the $56 million budget, I think we can do more with our money. As you said that, $35 million is coming in. I think we can do more with our money. I think the services that we have and provide could be allocated better than they are. I think that the bipartisanship on the council, we're here for one reason. We're here for Old Bridge. We're not here because I'm a Democrat and he's a Republican or somebody is unaffiliated. We have the same issues all across the board. And it's about, yes, I agree that bringing in clean businesses and clean ratables are important, but I also agree, and more importantly than that, is building from within with small and local businesses, and the emphasis should be on that. The emphasis should be on the diversity of the town. Not saying it should be one way or another, and not bring anything more, I don't know if personal is the right way to say it, but that we are one group of people that we share a common bond. We live in Old Bridge Township.
No, I understand.
And we need to understand that, and the council needs to understand that more, that it's all about one. Not about your side and my side, it's about one. The diversity in the town is huge.
Yes, you mentioned that earlier, yes.
And we need to embrace that.
Okay.
The building in the town, yes, it's about zoning board and about things that were processed up to 30 years ago, but we need to work on the roads, and we need to build the services within the fire department and police department, as well as electric and gas and Wi-Fi and everything.
Okay.
So I think the council should look at that more than it does right now.
Okay, thank you, Lance. As a councilman, how would you answer that question? Is everything politicized? Are there some things that are bipartisan?
I
What do
find
you see?
almost zero politics
Really?
played. Yes, in the last 4 years. The issue is, when something comes before the council and we have to vote on,
Yes, sir.
we keep our concentration on the taxpayer, on the resident, and whether it's good or not for the resident. It's not political. And I don't know, you asked me that question 4 years ago, and I have basically the same question. No issue should be political.
No,
I mean,
agree.
people tend to politicize, but I haven't seen that in the 4 years.
Really?
I mean, name one issue. Look at the YouTubes. Name one issue. The council has kept the resident in mind, and we voted that way, and the record's clear. I'm proud of my record. You can look at every vote that I made, and it's not political. I mean, there's no reason. I mean, when you politicize things, you make it bad for the taxpayer.
Agreed.
So.
But some residents seem to be more vocal about this than others, perhaps.
Well, there are issues that residents will come to a council meeting and voice, but that's their right. Their right is to address their grievances with us. It doesn't make it political. It doesn't matter what party or what race the person is. It doesn't matter. You're a resident, and they have an issue, whether it's an animal issue or a tax issue or whatever issue it is. We listen and we,
Okay. Fair enough. As a spoken like a councilman, fine. Thank you very much. I have another question for you, gentlemen, if I may. We have a gubernatorial election this year. A Democrat running on top of the ticket, Mr. Murphy. If I can turn to the Democrat here, how do you see the Democrat at the top of the ticket impacting your campaign, plus or minus?
We hope to keep this on a local level. Good government begins from the local level.
Yes.
Okay, and works its way up. Local, county, state, and then national. The governor, Democrat, Republican, doesn't make a difference. The governor has more on his plate than we do.
Yes.
Okay. I voted for Governor Murphy. I believe he was the right person to vote for.
Right.
I believe that New Jersey's in better shape. Educationally, New Jersey is still strong. Economically, New Jersey's in better shape. Environment, New Jersey's in better shape. So I will support Governor Murphy based on those aspects. Whatever is better for the state.
Will it help your campaign know that he's at the head of the ticket? Does it lead to a larger turnout of voters? And if it does, is that a plus for you?
I think if the people understand that we're concerned more here, then they can vote one way here and another way.
Okay.
Okay.
Well said. Yeah. Okay.
I'm more concerned at this exact moment. I'm concerned with the residents of Old and how we can make Old better, and how I can help Old make Old better.
Okay. Thank you, Lance. Tony, how do you see this as a Republican with a Democrat heading the ticket? How do you see that impacting the ticket?
Well, you can see the differences between my opponent and I. This current governor raised taxes numerous times. After the school reached its budget, the governor reached in and took money out of the school, which is totally unfair. I mean, they set their budget based on their money, and then you take the money away. You know, there was a number of things. As a council, we had to fight to get a COVID testing center. It's a constant battle when you're battling, because that's where the politics are. It's political. So I feel that there should be more freedom, more liberty, and with a Republican governor, Jack, at the top of the ticket, I believe you're going to see a better result in New Jersey. Now, if you elect the same guy again, you get what you vote for. The same process. If you vote for the same people, you get the same result. Now, I have good results. My record is clear,
Okay.
and that's why I would ask people to vote for me.
Okay, and that's what I'm going to do right now. Very well said, Tony. You're anticipating my next move. We're at that stage of the discussion right now, and Lance, I'm going to turn to you as the challenger. Why should people vote for you? Why should they send you to the council?
I'm here.
Keep it brief.
I'm here. I'm available. I will listen to what you have to say. I will answer the questions I know and find the answers for the questions you don't know. Mm-hmm. It's all about equity, diversity, keeping the town strong and making the town even stronger. Mm-hmm. And with my experience in the town, as far as the Housing Authority, Education Foundation, Cultural and Heritage Commission, and the fact that education, not just educating our students, but educating our residents is the way to go. And I feel I have that, and I can offer that more than my opponent.
Okay, thank you, Lance. Mr. Councilman?
Yep.
Tony, same question. Why should people send you back to the council?
Well, I'm the advocate for the resident. When I go visit a resident, I give them my business card. It has a number on it, connects right to my cell phone. Mm-hmm. I have a Ward 5 Facebook page where I communicate with the residents, and people call me all the time with issues. Now, as I walk around the town, people are very happy with the town. Now, some people have complained about the taxes, but you know what? The municipal tax has been flat. It's the school tax that's gone up every year, and the fire tax and the library tax, which the council has no control over, right? So we kept what we have control over, we kept it stable.
Okay.
Right?
Thank you for that discussion. Lance, last one. Where are you on the ballot?
I'm down at the bottom.
And you're on row?
I'm row A, and I'm working my way up as we speak.
You
we're on column B for the best.
B for the best.
Top
Okay,
them
well
down.
said. Gentlemen, I want to thank you for coming out tonight. I want to wish you the best of luck on the campaign trail.
Thank you,
It's
Gene.
good having you here. And folks, this is council candidates for this time. We're going to bring you interviews with the rest of the candidates as well. They can be seen here on Old Bridge Television 15, on FiOS 22, and on the Old Bridge YouTube page. Please vote on November 2nd. One vote can make a difference. Thank you for watching. We'll see you again on another candidates program. I'm Gene McLaughlin. Take care.